Hi there, this is Sam with Bulldog Rooter, and today I'm doing a video inspection of the main sewer line for 2118 West Gardner Avenue in Spokane, Washington. It is February 28th, 2017. So right now what we're looking at is the end of the sewer line, where it actually meets the city sewer. So right here is this is your connection. It looks like it's tied in on a fitting, meaning that it's actually sweeping into the line at this point. Part of the pipe itself is actually turning, so water is directed downhill. I'm going to start to pull back and explain some things about the condition of this main line. And yeah, so as we're pulling back here, I believe this goes to the alley. We are in 4-inch clay tile pipe. Looks like the sewer permit said that it was put in 1908. It's a pretty long time ago. Clay pipe usually lasts pretty long. It's fairly good pipe. Main issues with clay tile is that realistically it was put in 3 to 5 foot sections, and over time those sections will start to settle in the ground, and you'll see separating starting to happen where joints of the pipe themselves are a little offset, and you'll actually see lips inside the pipe and whatnot. So right here in this section, we're sort of seeing that. At this seam right here, there's just a little bit of a lip. It's, you know, honestly, this is a very, very minor separation. It's really not anything to worry about. Stuff is going to go by just fine. Here we are pulling back. We're still on that 4-inch tile. Once again, another very minor separation. Nothing too bad. Another minor separation there. You know, this pipe is very, very clean for the line itself. We have a little bit more of a major separation coming in towards the bottom of the screen right there. And on the right side of the pipe, the bottom of the pipe is going to be the left side of the screen where that light is showing. And, you know, that one's still, it's a little bit bigger, but it's not going to cause any too bad of an issue. Stuff should be able to drain through that just fine. Looks like right there we came around another turn. We got another separation in this area. A lot of times back then, you would actually, instead of having a piece of pipe that actually curves to make a turn, they would set them in the ground offset as well. I believe that's what's happening here. That's why it's kind of rounded off on this edge so stuff can get by. You can see some stuff did get caught in that section. Realistically, the more you use some water, the more it's going to push that stuff out. So you shouldn't really have a problem with that section as well. Here's another minor separation. What happens most of the time with these kind of clay tile lines is that when you're going through these separations, tree roots will get in there and cause some big issues, but I have not seen even a hairline of tree roots in the whole line. As I say that, we see some. Right in the top right-hand corner of the screen, you can see just a little bit. It looks like they were possibly cut out by a snake machine, but it is hard to say. If that's as much as growing in your line, that is totally okay and completely normal. I don't really see too big of an issue with the roots in that section there. Pulling back right here, still in that 4-inch clay tile. Everything is pretty clean. Most of the joints are very close to being perfect. See the sludgy substance on the wall of the pipe? That's just, you know, stuff from being used and being as old as it is. Not going to harm anything. Still pulling back here. The line itself is about 90 feet long, and we're hitting about 60 feet right now. You can see there's another separation right there. It was a little bit more major. I could see how some stuff could potentially get caught right there, but at the same time, it's not huge lip to where it's holding water or anything like that. So it should be okay. It looks pretty good so far. Keep pulling back here. Right here, we're still in clay tile. Actually, it looks like it switched over to concrete pipe, 4-inch concrete pipe. It's pretty close to the same thing as clay tile. The only difference is that concrete tends to, over time, kind of get a little bit more rough on the bottom. It slowly breaks down with the water and whatnot, and that can kind of create some issues, but this is looking pretty good as far as concrete goes. Got a concrete section right there. They usually go about 2 to 5 foot sections as well, and that seam looks pretty good to me. So this is a cause for some worry, just a little bit, nothing too major. We can see that this is a 4-inch concrete going into 4-inch PVC, and it's separated right here. You can see some slime and just sludge debris kind of built up on the bottom. Whoever made this connection just didn't get everything completely butted up perfectly, but it is still working. It will still definitely work. The bottom of the screen is still towards the left-hand side of the screen, bottom of the pipe, excuse me. So we're in green PVC. This section of pipe was spot repaired, is what they called. They just replaced a section of the line. Hard to say what caused the issue in the first place. It could have been a number of things, but it's a brand new sewer line right here. Green PVC is what we put in nowadays, and it works very, very well. The only real issues with this is when it's installed improperly. So far it's looking pretty great so far. Not seeing what'll happen is if you put the pipe in the ground and start to bed it, pack down the dirt around it, and there's big rocks inside of it, you can sometimes pack a rock kind of to bend the plastic a bit, and it'll eventually break through in some sections. Not seeing any of that here at all. Other things is you just want to make sure your fittings get sunk in all the way. It looks like that's fine. So right here we're switching over to what's called ABS pipe. It looks like they made another repair section in this section as well, and ABS is great stuff. It's stuff that we use for inside the house nowadays, and that stuff works fantastic. I prefer it over green PVC, to be honest, but they are both great pipes and they both work pretty well. No issues with ABS. Pretty much the same thing as PVC. You don't want to see it crack, you don't want to see it bent anywhere, do anything weird. You can see some swirl marks over in the top of the pipe as we were pulling through it. That's from somebody having to come out and put a snake in it, and they got it cleaned up very well. Depending on what the issue was, who knows. I saw a little bit of tree roots, but it's a very, very tiny amount realistically. You're not going to get all of them out when you snake them like that, so the pipe could have been cleaned. But so far it's looking great. I don't see any great issues at all. I don't see any mechanical issues. So we went from that black ABS, and it goes into a PVC pitting, and then we're switching back over to black ABS. A little abnormal, but it doesn't look like anything is wrong with it. So right here, at about 20 feet, is where this white piece of pipe is what we're looking at right now. The top of the pipe is actually going to be the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, and it looks like right here you actually have a clean out to your line somewhere out in the backyard. It just goes out to the alley. About 20 feet where I'm at. I'm in the cellar right now. So yeah, if there's ever any sewer line issues with this house and it backs up for whatever reason, you can tell them that you have a clean out outside, and this would be the access point you'd want to go through. I tried to pull it up on the permit today, and I did not see any mention of any cleanouts ever being installed for the city records at the very least. So I'm going through the cellar today because this is the only access I could personally find with the snow being on the ground outside. Realistically, you'll probably see like a green or a white cap outside in the ground somewhere, and this is going to be part of your sewer line right there. So we went from that ABS right over to cast iron, and this is cast iron pipe. It lasts usually, pretty long. You're mostly looking forward to see if it's rusting out in any spots, if it's really flaking off and there's holes inside the line or cracks or anything like that at all. It's looking pretty good so far. I can see some kind of hairline fractures on the right-hand side, the left-hand side. They look pretty minor. Cast iron usually lasts for a pretty long time, so it's usually not something too bad to worry about. Still pulling back. Right here we are going to be popping through some more cast iron, and it looks like through the clean out that I went through earlier, right up there, kind of in the middle of the screen there is the clean out that I went through. And once again, I'm Sam with Bulldog Rooter, and that will conclude your video inspection. Thank you.